Let's take the new super evolution of Sai super type free-to-play Luffy and beat every arena with him as captain. Let's make him the free-to-play king. Here is the Luffy we are going to use throughout this video on his quest to be the free-to-play king in One Piece Treasure Cruise. As you can see, all of the basic stuff are maxed out, sockets, special level and normal limit break. I also have 2 of his 3 limit break abilities maxed out, but it doesn't really play a big role. I do also have him limit broken plus to get his hunger limit break ability, which is not maxed out. I just used the 2 copies we got for free to upgrade it a bit, and his level limit break is also not over 2, which means he does not get the upgraded captain or special abilities. He has his normal abilities. So now let's take him to the top. Luffy's first challenge will be versus Arena Kamazo, since that was the first arena ever released and we are going to go through them in chronological order, and his first friend captain will be 6-star Yamato. In stage 3 versus Otoko, we activate Luffy's special for a 3-turn attack boost on himself and his super type, so all of the type slots can become matching, but we can also beat the goons. Then we hit for perfects, break Otoko's barrier and defeat her to proceed in stage 4. Thanks to Otoko's barrier, we were also able to hit enough perfects for Luffy to increase his existing attack boost in stage number 4 versus Zoro and Gyokimaru. While Zoro increases their defenses, Gyokimaru will turn all of our slots to block and despair our captains, but because of our maximum despair sockets and V2 Whitebeard support on our V2 Marco, despair will be completely removed. Now we are ready to deal with the defensive effects by activating the Strawhat Helmsman Jinbe. Then we are going to activate our friend Captain Yamato's special but also super type to increase our damage and also make all of the block slots into Wano. They are also locked, so we can keep them Wano in the next stage as well, since they are also non-manipulatable. After all that, we target Gyokimaru first, take him out, then move on to Zorojuro and clear the stage. For the final stage, we have a trick up our sleeve. We are going to use a color affinity boosting support, Towel Nami specifically, so we can essentially evade getting a color affinity boost from our Marco. Color affinity boosting specials are interruptible, but we do still want the healing from Marco because Kamazo is pretty tough to take out. We are first going to activate Bonnie to get an attack boost, a chain lock, and give Akainu and Marco their specials back. Then we activate Akainu to get an orb boost. And then we want to activate Marco, who can provide us with healing, and that will make it very easy for us to survive Kamazo's attacks. Starting off with Luffy, continuing with our int units, we can super easily take out Kamazo for the first time. The thing with this arena is that he revives and he will also gain a damage nullification shield, while also binding our crewmates, but because of our friend captain's captain ability, the bind will be completely removed. We cannot damage him now, so just tap 1 unit. Then before he strikes, he will apply increased damage taken to our team. Then he will attack us, we can super easily of course tank the hit. Following that action, he will apply hunger to our crew, but because of our captain's limit break ability and also bonus, we can completely remove it, take him out and clear our first challenge. The next one will be versus Arena Franosuke, and this time we don't need a Strawhat in the crew, and our friend captain will be the dual unit of last year's anniversary, Ace and Yamato. One of the very unique debuffs in this specific arena is applied in stage 3, where we are only limited to 2 specials per turn from now onwards. So we have charged up the meter for the super swap on a sub of it, we want to swap them again in stage 3, then activate our treasure map VV to remove chain lock and get an attack boost, and then also swap our friend captain to Ace so we can get chain boundaries. Let's begin with Robin because she is Q and we have plenty of dex units, easily defeat her, then end on our Q Hina unit and super easily defeat stage 3. Some essential tricks I am using with this team is first of all our support V1 Rayleigh on our captain Luffy, who alongside sockets can completely remove both the Despair and the Bind applied in stage 4. I entered with Yamato and Ace as the front of our dual units, so the swaps can match properly, so we want to swap both units here in stage 4. We also want 5000 HP of overhealing so Hina can help everyone else regain their specials, provide them with an ore boost and matching slots. And finally we want the double special activation of Treasure Map Vivid. She is our second special in stage 4 for an attack boost, and then we are going to attack Zoro based on color advantage to defeat him and proceed to face the main enemy, Franosuke. We of course still have only 2 specials available to us, but our swaps are extremely helpful, and our friend Captain's Captain ability can completely remove Bind after Franosuke applies it. Our first action here is to swap our friend Captain to Ace for chain boundaries, and then also activate his special number 1 here, to of course get an attack boost for everyone. The conditional attack boost does not apply. Then we want to super swap Ace to Sabo for a color affinity boost and a full board of matching slots, but we don't want their special, we want Alvida's for the chain boosting and to remove damage reduction. Then we attack, ending on our Dex units for maximum damage and to clear another challenge. The next 2 arenas actually came out together because we were getting very close to the server sync of the Japanese and global servers, so we are going to start off by beating Bonekichi. Our friend Captain this time is versus Yamato, and in stage 3 versus Nami and Shinobu. Because they get a random color, we want to activate the special of our Captain Luffy for him to get an attack boost, then attack based on color advantage and slots, ending on Luffy to deal the maximum amount of damage. We won't beat them immediately because they cannot become int, they essentially swap their color from int, so they will deal damage to us with their attack and also their end of turn damage. But we still have Luffy's attack boost, and now we want to activate his super type special, which is of course available to him because we are using Usohachi, and we get the full board of guaranteed matching slots to easily defeat them in turn 2 and proceed. In stage 4, Orobi is definitely a worthy opponent because she applies a plethora of debuffs, she even damages us further. The first special we want to use is from limited rare recruit Akainu. He will remove paralysis, attack down, give us a conditional attack boost, and his support rare recruit Jinbe will give us a chain boost. Then we activate the special of our friend Captain to get matching slots, an attack boost and her unique attack boost, and we only have 3 attacks. They will come from Boa, Luffy and Yamato herself, who has color advantage and a Wano slot. The perfects are easier to hit because of the whale sharks, that helps because we still are blinded, and it is very important to keep a Wano slot on our left column Q units, Super Tandem Law and Akainu, which will help a lot with damage in the final stage. More supports are available here to help us big time. Limited Rare Recruit Brule to manipulate the block slots into matching, and Rare Recruit QAs to give the Q units a color affinity boost. For specials, we want Usohachi first to deal with all 3 defensive effects Bonekichi has, then Boa Hancock to provide us with a chain lock, demonetization on this video and a base attack boost, and finally Super Tandem Law, who can give us healing, but more importantly an attack boost and a chain growth boost. Now we are ready to attack, but be very careful. We want to start with Yamato, end on our Q units, and specifically Law and Akainu, who have the Wano slots. That way we can deal enough damage to beat Bonekichi for the first time, but just like Kamazo a couple of arenas before, he revives. He will slot bind our units, which is not that impactful to be honest, and then provide us with 2 turns of hunger, which of course our Captain Luffy can completely remove because of his limit break ability. Now we attack him again and this time defeat him for good. The next battle is versus Arena X Drake, and we are going to use Ulti as our friend Captain this time. We have Chopper as a crewmate, so Luffy gains access to his super type ability, which we are going to activate in stage number 3 for the full board of guaranteed matching slots. We also have the whale sharks, which helps with perfects again, and we just want to attack Hawkins based on color advantage and super easily defeat him without activating any specials. The unique debuff you can say of this arena is applied in stage number 4, where we see that type slots are unfavorable For the rest of the quest, essentially because it is for 15 turns, the debuff is applied by page 1 here, and he will give us block slots. What we are going to do first is activate Queen, who will remove the defensive effects of page 1 and lock our slots. Rare Recruit Jinbe support will also give us a chain boost. Then we want to activate versus Kaido. He will apply an HP cut to page 1, give us an attack boost, and then make all of the block slots into TND. Since Queen locked them, they will remain TND in the next stage as well. Now we attack based on color advantage and defeat page 1. Because we essentially hit every perfect versus page 1, versus Kaido, and this is V1 versus Kaido actually, will provide us with an ore boost for our strength units in the final stage versus Drake. Ulti also gains access to her superclass special because we have Kaido and Queen in the crew, and she will completely remove Despair because of her captain ability. World Journey Rebecca, if limit broken, will resist Special Bind, and when we activate her, she will provide us with a color affinity boost and remove Special Bind from everyone else. Chopper will completely remove the paralysis, and then we want to activate our friend captain's special and superclass. She will remove attack down completely, and she will also boost our base attack, chain growth, and her superclass will provide us with a conditional attack boost. Captain Luffy will kick off the attacking chain, then every strength unit will follow, so we can easily beat Arena X Drake and add another arena to the defeat column. The next challenge is Arena Kawamatsu, and this time Kizuna Legend Ace and Sabo will be our friend captain. We want to charge up their super swap a bit before entering stage 3, and in stage 3 what we want to do is swap them to Ace, so we are going to enter the quest on Sabo, and then we also want to activate V3 Akaino's special to remove Okiku's barrier and not worry about it, and then get an attack boost and a conditional attack boost for a super easy time versus stage number 3. For our other dual unit, Kinemon Denjiro, we can enter on Kinemon and only swap them in stage 4 before activating their special. In that stage versus the 3 Raizos though, it is extremely important to have maximum bind sockets and our 2 supports that help us remove bind completely, Halloween Ace and also Rare Recruit Dex Kanjuro on Kinemon Denjiro. After our units are freed, we swap our friend captain back to Sabo, last swap before the super swap, and we also swap Kinemon to Denjiro before activating his special to remove damage reduction completely, get a base attack boost and an ore boost for everyone. We also want to activate the super type special of our captain Luffy for matching slots, and now we are ready to attack. We want to start from the Raizo in front, the main one, attacking with Sabo, Akainu, Zoro and also Kinemon Denjiro, and then we want to take out the 2 fake Raizos in the back with Boa Hancock and Luffy. That way we can super easily defeat stage 4 and proceed to face off versus Kawamatsu. And right about now you might be wondering, there is Despair in this stage, why didn't you enter on Ace from a Sabo so you remove it? Because we don't need to, and I would like to super swap to Ace so I have color advantage. We are going to activate Zoro to reduce Despair, and then with Valentine Nami support on him, we can completely remove it alongside sockets. Zoro will give us an ore boost and everyone else will get their specials back. Then Boa will actually remove attack down completely, give us a chain lock and a base attack boost, and finally we super swap to Ace to get a color affinity boost for everyone and activate his special, so we have the full board of guaranteed matching slots. Now let's attack, starting from Akainu and Luffy, then with our Q units to defeat yet another arena. The next arena in our road to Free-to-Play King is Arena San Juan Wolf. This time we are going to use 6-star Uta as our friend captain, and for stage 3 we need maximum bind sockets, and Chopper, Kizuna Chopper that is, in the middle row. He will remove bind completely and also will remove attack down while giving us a color affinity boost and healing. Then we want to activate Uta, who will of course provide us with an attack boost and an ore boost for the remainder of the quest. We will of course beat Van Ogre in one turn. We will land on Uta here for maximum damage. Here alongside Ivankov are our 2 most damaging units because they are both fully boosted and always have color advantage versus the Sai enemies. Entering stage 4 now versus Lafitte and his goons, our extremely important support character, Rare Recruit Sai Kuma on Perona, will activate to completely remove Despair. After that, we have World Journey Rebecca, who is limit broken, can resist Special Bind, and by activating her, we get a color affinity boost, we remove Special Bind, and the enemy's threshold. Then, because of Chopper's presence, we can activate the super type of Luffy to damage the goons and have the full board of matching slots. We also want to activate Uta's super class to increase the attack boost and ore boost in the final stage, and now we are ready to attack. The target is locked on Lafitte, so the fourth attack will either be Vankov or Uta to take him out, and then with 2 attacks remaining we can super easily take care of the goons behind him as well. Now, both Van Ogre and Lafitte, when defeated, will damage us, but that is not an issue. We actually welcome it because we have healing from Uta's superclass and Chopper's special, and in the final stage we want to be under 80% HP. First things first though, Uta will resist the special rewind for the entire team, so fear does not really matter, and we want to activate Kizuna Ivankov to remove damage reduction and get the full board of matching slots. And now the under 80% HP comes into play, because Perona will give a conditional attack boost and a chain lock, but can also apply negative status to San Juan Wolf for the conditional attack boost to be effective. We also have the boosting from Uta and Rebecca, and we want to end on Uta for her final tap to activate and us to clear another arena. Next up, it is Arena Shinobu, one of the hardest arenas to ever release, and this time as a friend captain we are going to use versus Kaido. Not an ordinary combination of captains, Luffy with Kaido, and Luffy is not boosted by Kaido. In this arena we saw the debuff that gave you the probability of getting a block slot with a unit that attacked, and also getting damaged at the end of its turn, but the debuff was not really an issue. In stage number 3 versus Raizo, we don't really need to activate anything, even through the slot bind and even through the block slots, if we happen to have any. We can very easily defeat him in 2 turns just by attacking based on color advantage, ending of course on our int units. Some essential tricks for this team to actually clear Arena Shinobu: we need bind removers and bind sockets to remove bind completely. I'm using Halloween Ace on Luffy and also Legend V1 Nekomamushi on Chopper. Our int units need to have slot bind resistance as a limit break ability to not be slot binded in the final stage, and Nami Sanji need to be limit broken plus and evade bind, so they need to be in the bottom row, in order to resist fear. As far as specials, in stage 4, Yamato manipulates block slots and also applies increased damage taken and gives us a chain boost for damage. Katarina Devon completely removes the defensive effects on Kinemon and gives us an ore boost. And finally we are going to also activate the super type ability of Luffy, so in case some unit did not have a block slot, they can also have a matching slot. Of course, Katarina Devon and Kaido will end the attacking chain, easily defeating Kinemon. In the boss stage though, versus Shinobu, we will be inflicted with Special Rewind, Special Bind, Paralysis and Attack Down. The great thing with this team is that our friend Captain Kaido resists the Special Rewind, so we are going to activate him first, and he can give everyone else their specials back, but also provide us with very good slots on our int units and also a very good attack boost and ore boost for them. Then, because of the limit break ability to resist fear, Nami Sanji can also resist Special Bind, so by activating them we remove Special Bind, and now we can activate Kizuna Chopper to remove Attack Down and Paralysis completely. Kaido now does not allow more specials to be activated, so we are ready to attack. Break the barrier through the blindness, starting with Luffy and Chopper who are not boosted, ending on our int units, trying to hit as many perfects as possible, and specifically also activating the final tap of Kaido to clear. Next up we have Arena vs Mihawk, the first arena versus an int boss so far, so we have the freedom of also using Luffy as double captain. In stage 3 we are going to encounter Moria and activate Colosseum Komurasaki once to remove both of his defensive effects, and then we are also going to activate one super type special of one of our Luffys to get the full board of matching slots and one special to get an attack boost. Of course, after that we just attack based on color advantage and easily take out stage 3. The supports are a very important part of this team. We are going to use Valentine Nami on Arena Franosuke, and Kizuna recruit Karasu on Robin Jinbe, who alongside Sockets and Colosseum Komurasaki's second special activation can completely deal with Bind in stage number 4 versus the Flamingo. That is exactly why we also entered the quest with Komurasaki and Franosuke in the left column. Franosuke's special comes first to deal with Despair, reduce attack down and also reduce Bind because of Valentine Nami support. Then Colosseum Komurasaki to completely remove the remaining Bind and also attack down. And then we want to activate the special and the remaining super type of our Captain Luffy. He will provide us with a 3-turn attack boost and of course the full board of matching slots. Lastly, before we attack, we are also going to activate Treasure Map Legend Mugiwara 56 Sanji for a 4-turn ore boost. We will carry that over in the next stage, and now we are going to attack with 4 Sai units first to break the barrier, then with Robin Jinbe ending on another Sai unit to super easily take care of the Flamingo, but also hit the perfects required for Frankie to reduce Mihawk's defense in the final stage and provide our crew with a conditional attack boost. Limited rare recruit support Brule will also activate, she is attached on Luffy, so she can make all of the block slots into matching. Now after the preemptive, only one special remains to activate Robin Jinbe to completely remove threshold and damage reduction on Mihawk's side and provide our team with a base attack boost. Then we attack based on color advantage, and with every boost we have, we can super easily take care of Mihawk and clear another arena. Luffy's next challenge is Arena Ashura Doji, a pretty hard arena I would say, and this time we are going to use the Super Evolution of the Shanks crew as our friend captain. In stage number 3 versus Kawamatsu, to deal with his barrier properly, we want to swap Shanks to the crew and then Ace to Sabo, and then activate Sabo as well to get an attack boost, an ore boost and a color affinity boost from all of that. That way we have 2 guaranteed Q slots, we attack with all of our Dex and Sai units first, then we are ending on our Q units, specifically the Shanks crew, to super easily defeat Kawamatsu immediately. And to achieve that, we want to enter on Shanks and Sabo, build up their meter by swapping until it stays in 1 and then enter stage number 3. That strategy literally sets up everything that comes in the next 2 stages. In stage 4, we are going to activate Nekomamushi to regain our specials and have an attack boost in the final stage. We super swap to Shanks for an attack boost and a full board of matching slots, and we activate him for a color affinity boost and also a 4-turn chain lock. We still have the Ace Sabo ore boost, so we target Cat Viper first, we super easily defeat him with our Dex units, and then comes Dogstorm, who is attacked by everyone else, and if we hit enough perfects, which we will very easily do, Shanks crew's Captain effect will activate end of turn damage, which will of course bypass resilience, allowing us to get out of stage 4, proceeding to the final boss, Ashura Doji. Generally, the tough part about this stage is that we are only allowed to use 2 specials. Well, with this team, we actually only need 1, specifically Arena Kamazo, who will remove Burn and provide us with a 2-turn ore boost. We have the attack boost from Cat Viper, we are going to super swap to Ace for the full board of matching slots and the color affinity boost, and then we are going to attack ending on our Dex units for tons of damage. And of course, again, because of Shanks crew's Captain effect, we are going to inflict end of turn damage because of our perfects and bypass resilience, defeating Ashura Doji. I guess he is too tough for his own good though, since he will revive to 30 million HP. But we still have the ore boost from Kamazo and the chain lock from the Shanks crew. We want to swap Ace to Sabo for a color affinity boost, activate limited rare recruit Akainu to get our Dex units guaranteed matching slots, but also an attack boost. You can swap to the crew if you want to get Luffy a matching slot, not that important. We end on our Dex units, and this time we beat Ashura Doji for good. Arena Caesar is our next challenge, and we are actually going to see Caesar immediately in stage 3. We have a friend captain 6-star Uta and Treasure Map support Shiryu on our Int Sanji to remove the poison slots in stage 3 and make them match. Uta's captain ability also gets rid of paralysis. Then we swap Newgate to Roger for an attack boost and an ore boost on everyone, and we want to start attacking with the right column, specifically Luffy and Garp are not fully boosted, that's why they are not boosted by Uta. Then we end on the left column, super easily beat stage 3 and proceed. It is very important to enter the quest with Chopper in the bottom row, so he can evade bind and maximum bind sockets. I also entered on Newgate, so we can swap once to Roger in stage 3 and never again, because we do not need to. Now in stage 4, we activate Chopper, he will deal with poison slots, bind and attack down. After that, we want to activate Uta's special to get her attack boost and ore boost for the remainder of the quest, and we also want to activate her super clasp, of course to increase said attack boost and ore boost in the final stage. To complete the run successfully, we also want to free our captains from the locked poison slots, hence why we need to hit Greats with our captains to start off the attacking chain here versus Brownbeard. Luffy first, then Uta, then everyone else, ending of course on the left column units for maximum damage and an easy time in stage 4. Entering the final stage, paralysis will once again be applied, but because of Uta's captain ability it will be removed, and we actually see an interesting debuff here for us, that we can only apply 20 million damage per turn on Caesar and he totally has 45 million HP. What we are going to do after Uta's buffs apply is activate Sanji to remove the poison slots, make them matching, and also get a base attack boost for our int units. Now we start attacking with Luffy and Garp, then everyone else, ending of course on the int units of the left column, to super easily do 20 million damage to Caesar for the first time. Caesar will then attack us. This team can also resist RCV bind, which is very helpful, but I don't know if it is necessary. And in turn 2, we are going to activate Roger to completely remove Despair. No need for any fancy swapping here, just straight up Despair removal. And we also want to activate the super type of our captain to guarantee get the full board of matching slots, because Caesar made our slots non-matching, but they are still type slots. We start attacking now with Luffy and Garp again, then everyone else ending on the int units of the left column, and we do as much damage as possible. Even if we can't exactly hit the 20 million, we are going to be very close, which means Caesar is now low enough, so we can meet the requirement of the ambush Garp special, activate it, and get rid of him without paying attention to the debuffs. The next challenge in our road to Free-to-Play King is Arena vs Sir Crocodile, and in this one we are going to use an Ace Sabo friend captain entering on Sabo. We want to swap twice in the stalling stages, meaning we are going to enter as Sabo in stage 3 as well, and we are going to pass the first turn there because Mr. Juan has damage nullification and very high defense, no point in attacking him. In turn 2 he will paralyze us, and what will happen is our support Bartolomeo will activate to remove paralysis, we have him on Robin, and then we want to swap Sabo to Ace for a color affinity boost and activate Luffy's super type to get the full board of guaranteed matching slots. With the double special activation on our 5+ Uta, we can also activate her for a chain boost, more damage and an easier time beating Mr. One. Proceeding to stage 4, we want to enter as Ace, so he can completely remove the despair that Robin will apply to us, or Miss All Sunday. Another debuff that will actually delay us here is the damage limiter. We saw it in the previous arena versus Caesar, but what we are going to do is take out this stage in 3 turns. The first turn we want our Robin in the left column to evade bind and then remove it, and give majority of our Q units a color affinity boost, but also as a damage reduction shield. We want to focus Robin, attack, and do the maximum amount of damage she allows us to do, which is 3.5 million HP, half her HP. Then everyone will attack as the damage reduction shield will protect us from majority of the damage. And in our next turn, after the enemies get an attack boost, we will swap our Ace to Sabo for another color affinity boost, and then we are going to activate our Captain Luffy for an attack boost on himself, but more importantly for support V2 Brook to activate and give us a damage reduction shield, so we can easily tank more attacks from the attack boosted enemies. We target Robin again, we attack based on color advantage, and this time deal the remaining 3.5 million HP points of damage she needs to be defeated. The goons will attack us. They are the only ones remaining at this point, 500,000 HP each, so it is super easy to proceed. Just attack them, do not activate anything, we still have the Luffy attack boost, and now we go into the final stage. Of course the Luffy attack boost will expire, we won't be needing an attack boost anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And versus Crocodile, since we enter as Sabo, we can completely resist the special bind because of Sabo's captain ability. What we want to do first after the preemptive is of course activate Akainu. This limited rare recruit is awesome, he will remove paralysis and reduce attack down, but also provide us with a conditional attack boost. Then Uta will completely remove the remaining attack down. We want to super swap Sabo to Ace for a color affinity boost and a full board of guaranteed matching slots, their special for a very good orb boost, and then Lucky Roo with Beckman for the chain boundaries to counter the chain debuff. Our color affinity boost is not interrupted because it is coming from a super swap, and then we attack to very easily conquer another arena. Arena Luffy is up next, and this is essentially a mirror match since we have Luffy as our captain. Our friend captain will be the 3 Sweet Commanders, and they are able to remove despair throughout the quest whenever we get it with their captain ability. Interestingly enough, this arena has 2 variations in stage 3, but we do the same no matter who we get, either Law or Kid. We activate V3 Akainu, we get the attack boost, the conditional attack boost, and we also have Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week support on Usopp for the guaranteed matching slot, so we can have an easier time. And we clear stage 3 immediately in one turn by attacking with color advantage and based on slots. In stage 4, the damage limiter appears again, so we need to take care of Zoro in 2 turns. First up, we activate Usopp to remove the low beneficial effects Zoro gave us and also delay him. Then we activate All-In to make the block slots matching, give an orb boost to Luffy, and also gain end of turn damage to bypass resilience in turn 2. Then we activate Luffy's special for an attack boost on himself, and we have Treasure Map Reward Jinbe support on him to guarantee that he can have a matching slot in the next turn as well, so we can have sufficient damage. We are aiming to do all of the 5 million damage we are allowed to in this turn, and then in turn 2, because Zoro won't attack us or anything since we delayed him, we still have the attack boost for Luffy, we still have the matching slot, and before we attack we want to activate Toki, turning her and our friend captain, the 3 Sweet Commanders, into the Toki Toki state. Then we attack based on slots, ending on Luffy, and this time we have enough damage to finish off Zoro. The end of turn damage will of course officially take him out, since he will remain with 1 HP because of resilience. Now in the final stage, since we turned our friend captain and Toki into the Toki Toki state, they won't be affected by any debuffs, meaning special rewind, paralysis or special bind. Everyone else doesn't really concern us, the despair will be removed because of our captain, and now we have an exclusive high attack boost and orb boost for these 2 units, the 3 Sweet Commanders and Toki. By activating Luffy's super type, we also have guaranteed matching slots on them, and then we activate the 3 Sweet Commanders, both their special and their super type, to of course get strength super typing, a color affinity boost and a chain boost. Then we attack with these 2 units only and super easily clear another arena. The lucky arena, number 13, was versus Queen, and ironically we are going to use Queen as a friend captain to beat it. In stage 3 we want to swap both of our dual units, and for the swaps to work properly we want to enter the quest on Carrot and Robin, and then in the first 2 stages fill up their swap meter a bit, and when Carrot Wanda says in 1 and Robin Jinbe in 2, we are ready to enter stage 3. Now we swap both of them in the first turn of stage 3. If Luffy does not have a matching slot, you can also activate his special. He did here, so the special did not matter. We want to focus the 2 mobs in the back first by attacking with our right column units, the non-dex ones, and then with all the dex ones we want to focus the front mob, the main one with the highest HP. Have in mind Colosseum King also has barrier penetration, which can be very helpful. And we are not going to be able to beat him in one turn, but in turn 2 we want to swap Robin back to Jinbe and also activate Luffy's super type. That way we get guaranteed matching slots on King and Who's Who, and also have high chances to get matching slots on the other units. So now we attack again, ending on our dex units based on slots, and we can clear this stage. Of course, even though Luffy did not have a matching slot this time, we can't activate his special in turn 2 of stage 3, simply because we don't want his attack boost to carry over in stage 4 versus Appu. Appu provides a pretty overwhelming preemptive, but with the good old V1 Rayleigh support and maximum sockets we can remove bind. Then we super swap Carrot to Wanda for an attack boost on everyone, and we activate Wanda for an orb boost and to also give everyone else their specials back. and activate Queen's super type. Then we activate Colosseum King to remove defense up completely, but also Despair. And finally, we want to activate Queen's special, so if we hit the perfect required, we can have chain boundaries in the next stage, but also his super type to get the full board of deck slots. Now we attack, breaking the barrier, starting with the units that have no color advantage obviously, Who's Who, Luffy and Jinbe, and then with all the dex ones to defeat Apu and proceed to the final stage. Moving on to the final stage, it is noteworthy that because I obviously have to use Luffy as my captain, I cannot evade the debuff of getting limited to 3 taps. Which is fine because we have an overwhelming amount of damage with this team. And funnily enough, Queen's automatic special activation, providing us with an attack boost, does not activate the interruption Arena Queen has, which is an awesome workaround because we get an attack boost. Then we super swap Jinbe to Robin for the full board of matching slots and activate her to remove damage reduction threshold and also get a base attack boost. And finally, we activate the Who's Who special to get a very good color affinity boost and chain boost, and rare recruit Q ulti support on Who's Who provided us with a slight ore boost. Probably not necessary, but better be safe than sorry. We now attack with our 3 strongest dex units and destroy Queen. The next arena was by far my hardest challenge with free-to-play Luffy. It is Arena Hawkins, and I had to use Franky and Chopper as friend captains, the designated legend for this arena, something I tried not doing, but I was coming short just a little bit on damage after Hawkins revive with my other teams using Smoker and even Yamato Ace. So I had to use Franky Chopper in stage 3, Franky will remove attack down completely, that's why we enter with him as captain, then we swap all 3 of our dual units and activate Luffy's super type. I entered the quest on the Sai side of Franky Chopper, then Wanda and Mansery, and we entered stage 3 when the super swap was ready to go for our friend captain and the swap meter stated in 2 for Carrot Wanda. With just the swaps and correct color advantage attacking, it's easy to beat stage 3. For stage 4 we want maximum bind sockets, Halloween A support on Luffy will reduce bind, and we can swap Shirahoshi to Mansery to completely remove it. Then comes 6+ Garp to remove special bind from everyone and give us a chain lock so we can evade the chain debuff. Then we activate Kizuna 5+ Ivankov to essentially deal with everything else, resilience, damage reduction, block slots, and we get an attack boost. And finally we swap Carrot to Wanda so the super swap is ready to go in the final stage. We attack based on color advantage and super easily clear stage 4. Damage is more than enough of course, hence why we did not need to swap our friend captain, and we preserve the swap for the final stage so we can align the swaps correctly and remove attack down after the final boss revives. Entering the final stage now, Hawkins will despair our captains, give special rewind to the crewmates, even apply increased damage taken to our crew and an HP cut. The first thing we want to do is super swap Wanda to Carrot to give an attack boost to our units, and then we want to activate Carrot, who resists special rewind, to get an ore boost for everyone and give Shirahoshi Mansery their special back. Now we also swap Mansery to Shirahoshi and activate her special to remove despair, heal a lot, and also get a chain boost and a full board of rainbow slots. We also swap to the Sai side of our friend captain to remove attack down after Hawkins revives, but we also get a color affinity boost. We attack based on color advantage, of course ending in our middle row Q units, and take care of Hawkins for the first time in the final stage. He will revive to 14 million HP, he will apply attack down, which will of course be removed, and he will do damage to us, which we can survive barely with 3000 HP, but we can, which is good enough. What we are going to do now is swap our friend captain again for a slight color affinity boost and activate their special to get an attack boost, an ore boost for everyone, and also guaranteed matching slots through poison slots. We are also limited to only 4 taps, so we will attack with our Sai and Q units to finish off Hawkins and defeat our toughest challenger yet. For our last challenge, arena number 15, we are going against Sasaki. Unfortunately, Katarina Devon is not available as an arena in the Recollection archive, so we cannot play against it. But with this team versus Arena Sasaki, we are going to use 6-star Uta as our friend captain. We are going to have the super swap of Robin Jinbe ready to go to super swap to Jinbe in stage 3, get the full board of matching slots, attack based on color advantage starting from the mobs, and easily defeat stage 3 without no problems. Also, because we have Uta as our friend captain, whenever special rewind or paralysis appears, she can resist it completely for all of our crew. In stage 4 after the preemptive, we want to activate Jinbe to remove damage reduction and attack down, but also get a base attack boost. We want support Custard on one of our int units, either Robin Jinbe or Yamato, to lock our slots, and she will lock them Wano, because when we activate Yamato, she will make the block slots Wano and give us a chain boost, and then we will activate Uta to get an attack boost and an ore boost for the remainder of the quest. We also want to activate her superclass to of course increase said attack boost and ore boost in the final stage. Then we attack starting from the goons again, super easily defeating Black Maria and clearing stage 4. Because Custard activated, the Wano slots are locked, meaning they cannot be manipulated by Sasaki when we enter stage number 5. He also makes the type slots non-beneficial, but we have no problem with that. Uta will of course completely remove the paralysis that will be applied to us, and our Nami here, timeskip int rare recruit Nami, will resist special bind on herself. And after our buffs apply, we want to activate the Nami to also free Bello Betty from special bind, and we activate her to get a chain boost for the remainder of the quest, but more importantly, lock our slots to Wano for after Sasaki's revive. Starting the attack with Luffy, we take out the 2 mobs first, then Sasaki ending on Uta for the final tap to activate and us to do tons of damage to Sasaki. He will of course revive, he would manipulate our slots but he cannot because they are Wano, so now we don't need to activate anything else. For the last time in this video, we are going to attack the enemy, defeat another arena, and of course make Luffy the free-to-play Pirate King of One Piece Treasure Cruise. And yes, Bello Betty, we did pretty good today. And that was Luffy's adventure to the top. That was also the longest One Piece Treasure Cruise video I've ever done, but I am pretty happy with it. It was enjoyable making different teams for every different arena, and hopefully you enjoyed watching it as well. You can also check the pinned comment where I will write some different fun facts about Luffy's adventure through the arena cycle. As always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.